Chinatown.
Just for the recap, so there's supposed to be 2 bolts up here. We had 1 to remove, and then there's 1 there, and 1, I don't know if you can see it, on the other side. There we go. And that should be the whole heater core.
Do I need a wirings? Oh, I can't reach it. There you go.
Just for the good folks at home and abroad. And inside there is the heater core, and we're going to take that out somehow, and we're going to see if we can get some flow through it. And I suspect it's just years of coolant. You can see just how much brown gunk is swirling around in that coolant. That's why we have a problem. There's the heater core inside. Coolant flows in and out through the top and through the heater core, and it blows from the back into the cab. So that's the whole assembly. The next step will be, well, let's take it apart and let's get the heater core out. So the right place to do this is on your wife's kitchen counter.
Don't tell her.
Don't tell her. So this box is held together by these. So we cut the hoses and pulled them off. And that should be, that's a heater core removal.
It's all brass and leaded together, right? A lot of rust in it, though.
Yeah. Well, because we're so professional here, there's a poor man's funnel, and let's show the product here. This is CLR. It's a calcium lime rust remover. We're going to fill the heater core and let it sit for a while. That'll dissolve all the rust and scale inside the heater core and hopefully restore the flow. This actually is an environmentally safe product. You actually see it working.
Yeah, it'll bubble when it reacts.
And we'll also immerse the entire heater core as well and clean it up. You can see how with just a little bit of CLR on the top, the corrosion has come off. You can see the lead from the seal. You see the difference already. And there's the copper. Let it sit for a while. You can see the difference between the old and new. I'll just let her go, and hopefully the same reaction is going on inside. Okay, while we're waiting for the heater core to clean itself in the CLR, we have this control valve here, and this is actually what is supposed to go there, and this will feed the heater core. And there's a cable, and the original cable is here. It's just dangling, and that was supposed to open and close this valve. And so what we're going to do is we're going to install this right there. And away we go. Hopefully we'll now have proper heater controls. And now you're wondering how, Blaine, how did you ever control the heat before? Well, the truth is I didn't. It was just always on, and the fan was either on or off. So, but it really wasn't producing anything, so it was never really a problem. So anyway, we'll pull this plug and we'll see if we can get this baby to work. Okay, just hold around it. I'll take it off.
Take it out, put it in the vise. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in there pretty tight.
Okay. Well.
Pull the whole adapter out. Now we broke that seal anyways. It'd be good to put some Teflon tape or something on it.
Well, what we'll do is we'll go get the I'll get something to catch the coolant. Really tight. There's the plug that we took out on the bench vise there. And now we're going to, it's got a copper washer there, we're going to put a little Teflon tape on this and reinstall it. And this should just fit in the top. What's the taper fit?
Yeah, it's pipe.
Alright. I did just leave it on the counter. So it's going to go in this way. Okay, it's probably tighten up.
Just makes it.
One more turn?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That might be
Perfect.
it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And now, that old heater control, which has not been connected to anything for...
Can you straighten that out? You need a pair of pliers?
I think my Herculean grip is probably good. Good enough. But what we're missing is the roll pin in there.
Oh, and it has to have like a stopper or something? Or?
Yeah, you see there.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, it'll have like a lead biscuit that has a hole and a screw through it.
Yeah.
So of course that comes on the cable, not on the. Well, you know what? It can be manually operated for now. Have to get that piece.
Piece we're missing is that pin there. We'll see what we can find somewhere. That's
I can hold it up while you tighten it. Should replace all your clamps too.
Yeah.
Just for.
Yeah, I bought a handful just in case.
Yeah, I got a set of clamps. So
This is an ancient clamp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks original. It's just season up.
So what we'll do is I'll pull that cable out. We'll pull the core out. We'll grease it.
Exactly, and just put it all back together. Maybe even straighten the end. It might have a kink in it.
Yeah. But it's getting close to being. It's getting
So
closer.
then this hose will go to the heater core. This one's return. This gets the T for the.
Okay. So from here, here's after sitting in the CLR for about a half hour. This is a great little product from Canadian Tire. It's a non-toxic rust remover, and if you put your rusty parts in it, it actually does eat away the rust and renews them. So I've used it before on fasteners, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take these rusty screws and I am not going to drop them down the sink. And we'll just let those sit overnight, and we'll see how they look in the morning, and they'll get a new coat of paint. And yeah, so there's to that. This is from sitting overnight. Let's see what we get here. Final rinse. Pours pretty evenly both sides. So these screws have been sitting in the Canadian Tire rust check all night. There's the screws afterward. Kind of coppery finish to that one. That one's largely black. We'll give them a brush off and see what they finally look like. All right, so we've made a little bit of progress here on the heater core. These are the painted screws, and this is the flushed heater core with a little bit of paint on it there just to kind of freshen it up, and also painted the box. And there's just a coat of semi-gloss paint on there that'll slow down the rust a little bit, and that'll just make some nice neat installation. So what I've done is you can see inside here there's some weather stripping, and that's to keep the seal around the edge of the heater core, and it keeps the air from leaking out when the squirrel cage fan is blowing against it. So there's the finished heater core and its box. Just one thing worth noting, if you look inside, and you can see that place back there, this little hole there. Air is going to leak through there, and similarly at the bottom there's one there too. So we're just going to block off those passages so we don't have really cold air blowing in with the hot air when we want heat. So here's the final heater core and its box plenum, or whatever you want to call it, ready to install. Just a couple of details I want to follow up with here. So I talked about how there was some light showing in the box. Even though those are going to cause some leakage, I'm going to leave them for drainage, because this box obviously has gotten water in. The really large hole on the top I did seal with some black silicone, so that'll slow down the draft, but hopefully that's a good compromise. Now, one more thing I did, there's holes through which the spigots come out. There's actually bottoms that are a mirror of the top, and there's the same on the other side in two places. And what you saw before was the back of the insulation that I used to stop those up and to cushion the heater core inside. So what I've done is I've just covered those with a couple of layers of this aluminum tape. You can get it at any hardware store. So there's 2 layers on there, and those will just seal those off a little bit and keep water from getting on the back of the gaskets and then eventually pushing them off. So I just think maybe that's a little bit of an improvement. 2 layers, because I'm a little clumsy and I don't want to puncture that one single layer, mishandling it, putting in. I'll have to be very careful. But there it is. I think it's ready to go back in the vehicle. Now, this brass screw with a couple of nuts on it. Holds the control cable for the heater core in place. The problem is it doesn't rotate, and so as you adjust it, it wants to bend the wire. It doesn't operate. It keeps it in place. That's just a temporary fix. We have a part to fix that. So here's the final product. It's a piece of aluminum which I simply turned in the drill, and I tapped a hole in the end, and you can see this is the line where the control cable for the heater will go, for the valve, and this screw will tighten down on that cable, and this is just a little locking washer to keep it all on. We'll try to fit it to the vehicle, and we'll see how it works. So here's the little homemade fastener installed. See what happens when we pull the lever. I'd say that's a fully operational valve. So in summary, the work that we did is we flushed the heater core and rebuilt the box, put in the proper control valve for the heater core, and then we replumbed the circulation heater so that the circulation heater now goes directly back to the block, but a T will take it to the heater core, which is controlled by this valve. So if you want to, as part of heating the block, you want to preheat your cab heater as well, you can do that. And of course, well, there's still one question. Okay, it's only -6 today, but hasn't started for a few days, and well, I think we deserve this. There we go. So does it actually have heat? Did we improve the heater core? Yes, we took the vehicle on an expedition recently, and we verified that yeah, it's a lot warmer and more comfortable now. However, yeah, it's sitting kind of funny, isn't it? Aha. If you want to see how that happened, keep your eyes open for our next video where we do an expedition to Fire Road 13 in the Sandylands Provincial Forest. See you then.